Good afternoon, Long Beach Unified Community. It's great to be back with you. It's been a couple of weeks, but today marks the beginning of information and videos that will come out to support the opening of school. We know that you have so many questions, many of which we don't have the answers for, but some of which we do have the answers for. And so today, my goal is to summarize things that have been put out in different forms this week through our Board of Education meeting, through district communications, and others. So today isn't new information, it's really just a summary of what has been shared during this week. I have 5 things. The first is, you heard that we extended the instructional program selection date for families until August 14th. The purpose of that selection process is to help us do our master scheduling for students. We've taken feedback and revised the process a little bit in terms of the selection, and you should have received an email this week. It's really important for our parents who are watching that you have a Parent View account set up and that you're using that Parent View account throughout the year, especially when our schools will be closed and students will be learning at a distance. If you have questions about that, we encourage you to call the central office. We have staff working the regular schedule. That number is 562-997-8000. You will be directed either to a technical support office, to the level office for elementary or middle or high schools, or you may be directed to someone who can support your specific question, if not one of those offices. The second thing I'd like to reiterate is many of the details related to how we will open school are still being negotiated. You heard about that in our Board of Education meeting, and so I just want to reiterate that. The Board of Education and we are in the process. We have designated staff to negotiate on our behalf. That's not something that all takes place in public, but what I can assure you, all of our community members, staff, as well as those in the community, that negotiations are actively taking place. For those of you that have written to express your thoughts in emails, or you came to the board meeting, or you wrote to the Board of Education, we hear you, we are listening, and all of those ways of sharing your perspectives have been heard and are part of the process, so thank you. The third thing I'd like to share is that yesterday we held the first of an informational session with an opportunity for questions and answers. Yesterday was focused on supporting staff. We took lots and lots of questions and tried to pick out questions that were asked over and over again, and had district staff as a panel to share information with the staff. Next week we'll proceed in some of those informational and question and answer sessions for the community. So be on the lookout for a schedule coming early next week of when you can hear from district staff around specific details of the instructional plans, health and safety, and other things that we know are being asked and that you all want answers for. You can also depend on our parent university team to be in several languages, preparing to have classes on our new online learning management system and other topics that will support families specifically in having a successful start of the school year. On that note, many of the documents that we've put out, our COVID response plan, things related to special education, health and safety, our instructional programs, are being placed in one comprehensive document that we will have out to the community early next week so that you can download and print the document. It's a district school opening and safety plan handbook that we think in some ways will be a place for you to have many questions answered in one place, and we look forward to releasing that early next week. And then lastly, on Wednesday night, our Board of Education approved a new learning management system. Immediately following their approval, if you're a teacher, you got an email. The next morning, you got an email of how to log on and set up your Canvas account for your classroom. I have heard from many teachers that that was a bright spot during this week. They've signed on, they're utilizing the training that's available even from your computer, and we are actively preparing for several days, actually 5 days of training for teachers to feel comfortable on that first day of school that they know how to use the new Canvas learning management system. So that's it for today. Information and summary of the week behind us. I look forward to seeing you next week with additional updates And please be on the lookout for your email. If you don't have a ParentVUE account or need to update that, we really encourage you to do that, especially with lots of information coming out that we know that you'll want to hear from. Thank you for being such a supportive community and for all of the ways that you're supporting your students and teachers, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take good care.